Hey everybody, this is Mickey G,
And I'm Rodney T.
and welcome to this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School. Hey Rodney, how was your fourth?
It was all right. It was kind of laid back. We didn't do a whole lot. As a matter of fact, for first time I can remember in a long time, I was like, man, it was so hot out there. I went and bought some ribs. I'm like, I'm not finna stand out there in that stuff, man. So we did that, and I did fire up the grill though. I did some wings and thighs, and that was it. But yeah, we didn't get out there and do the annual barbecue because we would have been barbecued ourselves.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, we just did that and hung around and chilled out, man. How about you? How was yours?
Well, like I say, my mom wanted everybody to get together since we hadn't been together in so long, but all she wanted was an omelet. So we basically had brunch. So we went up to where she stayed with my sister-in-law, and my brother-in-law was doing made-to-order omelets and all the trimmings and things. So we had, for the first time ever, omelets on the 4th of July. So we didn't do any barbecuing at all. And I'm sort of like you. I mean, it's been so hot lately. I just, just can't take the heat like I used to. I know this little Kroger, they started doing ribs for the holidays. I guess it's been 3 or 4 years ago. And man, they have a line now. I mean, they do a decent job. Ain't nothing spectacular that they do.
Right.
They don't boast about, the rubs and all that stuff. They just put them on the grill and barbecue and put a little sauce on them,
Right.
But they have a line up there now just the weekend before every holiday. People seem like, they tend now to want to go and just buy them versus being over that hot grill all day,
Yeah. That's what Roz was saying. She said, you're going to get out there and cook all that stuff. You come in, take a shower, eat, then you're going to be asleep for the rest of the evening. I said, well, you about right.
Yeah.
So this little barbecue place I used to go to when I was working downtown, and matter of fact, it's a block from the VA hospital. I usually stop in there when I go to a VA appointment and get some. They got some good barbecue in there, and it's one of those places where sometimes the fixings are better than the barbecue, because they had them collard greens and that macaroni and cheese just like I like it. I'm like, man. So, but the ribs are good. So we got a couple of slabs in there, and I have to use her as my regulator because I don't have no filter with that. I was like, well, I think we need to get 4 slabs. Rodney, there's only 4 of us.
Yeah, you need a slab each.
Yeah. She's like, no, let's not get 4. I was like, all right. I said, now see, what's gonna happen is we're going to get in there. Everybody going to be hungry and eat up all the ribs. Ain't going to be nothing. She said, well, what happens every time you cook? Because I cook 4 slabs of ribs, right? And but I'm also looking ahead. I said, well, I can take 1 slab, wrap it up, put it in the freezer.
Right.
We can bust out later. And then we can take another slab and cut it in half and give each one of them a take. And then we eat off the 2, right? My doggone boys, they worry about their figure more than women do and shit. They don't eat. They eat like little birds. I'm like, boy. So yeah, that's what we did, man. But it turned out good. At least I didn't go to sleep. Boy, that heat out there was something. I got up early that morning and threw that chicken on and got it done. It didn't take all that time like the ribs does. So got in and got out of that before it got hot. So.
Yeah, they got a number of barbecue places around here, and some of them. I mean, it seemed like back in the old days when they had rib joints and places, like when we was in San Antonio and stuff, that you'd go in, they'd have, maybe a couple of different sauces they put on it, and they wasn't doing rubs as much back then. Seemed like either.
Right.
But here you go in, and it's got we got this rub, we got that rub, we got like 10 different sauces, and I'm like, damn, this is becoming a a math quiz just to order ribs these days.
Yep.
You know, I
Yep.
mean, I just want some barbecued ribs. You know, if you put some, a little bit of seasoning on, that's no big deal. But I hate to have to try to choose from 10 different varieties. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, they make it more complicated than what it need to be.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Oh.
and so I keep telling my sons, like, y'all lay up, sleep to 12 and 1, then show up. The cooking is done. Y'all need to be trying to come and learn something, you know, so I can pass this torch.
I was going to ask you that very same question. If either one of them have sort of like they've taken an interest in learning the art.
Well, Lynn has finally, and he was the last one. Philip can still do it. He can, because he loves to cook. Him and his mama cook all these. They talk about, they watch them cooking show. He can cook ever since he moved out on his own.
Right.
And Lynn could care less about that. He was like me. Where's the barbecue place at? You know. But now, since he bought his little house and he got a nice little setup, and he's like, Dad, I need to come over and get some pointers. Well, Lynn is he wants to conquer things on his own. You know, he gonna ask you the bare minimum of anything. So next thing I know, Roslyn showed me a picture. He done went out and bought him a grill. He out there got it. He said, "Well, I'm gonna have y'all out for some barbecue, but I gotta get it down." So he's out there experimenting with himself. So he'll have it down after a while. So he's doing it. But I know Philip used to come over here and help me, and every once in a while. But they like to sleep. See, it reminds me of me when I was young, boy. I couldn't get up for nothing, boy. I'd be asleep. And Len, when we say we're gonna have a get together here at the house, he'd be the last one to show up because he done slept to 1. And by the time he drive out here, it's almost 3. So, but yeah, they doing it.
Yeah, that's good. But it's it's interesting how you can have kids and their interest in things like cooking and stuff of that nature is so different. That's the way it is with the girls. Tara can cook. She'll cook anything and she'll experiment with stuff. But Tamara, she's like, call me when it's ready.
Yeah.
she tells me, as long as I can cook some ramen noodles and there's a microwave, I'm happy. I'm like, girl, I said, I don't know where we dropped the domestic gene at, but somewhere that gene is missing. Because I said, your mama can cook like crazy. I said, I can do decent myself, but that gene didn't get into you for some reason. And she don't care. I mean, she ain't ashamed of it. She'll tell you in Army, I don't do that. I don't do that cooking thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I ain't interested. Now I'll grill some meat. I ain't doing. I know when Rosin was sick, her mother was saying, "Well, how's Rodney gonna eat?" I'm like, "Hey, long as there's Burger Row down there and Taco Bell, I ain't gonna starve." And I got me some of that. What is that ham in the little meat thing in there, and I done fell back in love with bologna, man. I bought that bologna sandwich, boy.
Had one today.
Did you?
I had one today for lunch. I was sitting around there thinking about what am I going to eat for lunch. I'm the leftover guy. I go out there. What's in there for leftovers? I'll warm something. I went out there, look what we had for leftovers, and really we didn't have any meat left over. I'm like, damn, I ain't got no meat in there. And I'm like, well, shit, just do you a bologna sandwich. I went in there and they did me a bologna sandwich for lunch today.
Yes, sir, buddy. I get that bologna sandwich with that mustard, boy. I want that mustard to drop. Every time I pick it up, I want it to drop out of there.
Yeah. But I found out, though, that, I used to try to depend on the packaged bologna. I like mine thick,
Yeah, I do too.
Finally, I told me, I said, don't get the bologna out of the package. I said, even they thick cut ain't enough for me. I said, just buy the stalk.
Yeah.
He brings the stalk in. I cut it myself.
That's right. I do my bologna like I do my drink. I pour and cut till I see it. Oh, okay. Put it in that skillet and let it get a little burnt on it.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I might have to go do one after we get off the phone now.
Yeah, buddy. I did one today. I love my bologna, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. That's some good eating. So
it is. Yeah, I know, I know it ain't the best for you, but I still, like I said, a lot of stuff that ain't the best for you. I like it. So I don't like I eat one every day, but
Right.
ain't nothing but good, nothing better than a good bologna sandwich. That's
Yes,
for sure.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
So, but yeah, they ain't gonna starve. I was like,
no,
hey,
I heard that.
we can make it. Something came on TV the other day when we was all over here, and everybody started laughing because when the kids were growing up, like if Rosin was gone somewhere and they were here with me, Dad, I'm hungry. If we didn't go to McDonald's or something, I'm like, all right, they knew what was coming. Some beanie weenie, baby. Kept me some Campbell's pork and beans up in this Mickey Flicky and some weenies. They're like, Dad. They'll laugh about it now. Boy, we ate a bunch of beanie weenies. I said, you wasn't hungry, were you? Oh, like
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'd never been able to cook as well as Mary, and she would, when she'd be gone, I'd do the same thing, but I would try to do something different. I'm gonna cook
yeah.
something different, kind of thing, and I know I still remember that one time I did those chicken cordon bleu. Think I was being French and stuff, and Mary called to the house and was talking to Tamara and said, "Well, what did Dad cook you for dinner tonight?" A chicken nugget. I got on that damn phone. I said, it wasn't no big chicken nugget. It was a chicken cordon. She said, yeah, what did Dad cook for dinner tonight? A big chicken nugget.
That's funny.
I'm like, yeah, that's the way your kids are. You're trying
Yeah,
to
man.
introduce them to some international cuisine, and they call it a big chicken nugget.
Told the truth. Yeah, man. It's something else.
Yeah,
I remember them days, boy. Mine. Fix him a sandwich. I cut it straight across. Dad, that's not how my mom does it. I'm like, is your mama standing here? Boy, eat that sandwich. My mom cuts. She cut the ends of the bread off for him right there and cut it in the triangle. I was like, I ain't doing all that. You better be glad I cut it. Yeah, my mom don't do it like that. Ain't this something?
Yeah, they get spoiled, man. They get spoiled. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how well they had it, boy. When I was growing up, you better get in there and fix it yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. That's for sure.
But yeah, bro.
It was funny. I was listening to the radio the other morning. I don't know if I just pay more attention to what's said on ads and things versus, when I was younger and stuff. I was laughing at one of these political ads. This one brother that's running for the state senate in Nashville. He had his ad on, and his name is Ludi Wallace, and when he came on, I said, well, I can't be mad at him. He had nothing to do with his mom and dad named him, but
right.
Of course, the name.
Changed it.
Yeah, the name at first got my attention, and he came on and he said, yeah, this is Ludi Wallace, and I need your vote. I'm running for a state senator in district something another whatever, and then he changed up on me. He went into third person. He said he has been a former NAACP president. He has been a city council. And I'm thinking, I'm like, Ludi, you still talking, brother? What are you saying he for? You're third person. You talking,
I thought you was gonna say, he said, I'm talking about Ludi.
He said he's done this and he's done that. I'm like, okay, he done switched up on me. He's in third person, and then he got to the end and he said, and everybody, I need your vote because we need to keep Ludi on duty. I'm like, all right. I said, that's a campaign ad I ain't gonna never forget. We need to keep Ludi on duty.
Boy, that's something else, boy. Leave it to a brother. He come up with something.
Yeah, man. When he switched to third person, he has been a member of the city council. He has been I'm like, that's you. What is that he for? Oh, when I was that boy, when
Man,
I heard that, I just fell out laughing. But
I'm telling you, man.
it's funny how they do that. It was another one. They was talking about this reentry program they have for people who've been in prison and stuff of that nature. And the
Mhm.
guy said he said have you ever been in how do you say if you ever been in the criminal justice system or you've been justice involved, give us a call. And I'm like, justice involved. I've never heard that term in my life before.
Right.
I said, I guess, to back up the old days when we say, if you ever been, in trouble with the law, I guess that's now called justice involved. But I
Hmm.
was like, that's a new term. I'm going to put him a thesaurus too. I've never heard the term justice involved before.
So, meaning you had some run in.
That's right. That's me. You had some
Man,
running in with the law. But yeah, if you've ever been justice involved, give us a call. I'm like, justice involved. I guess they coining new terms all the time.
that's like industrial engineer. You know,
Right.
you're a janitor.
Yeah. I like that old Sanford and Son when Lamont told that girl, we're into commodities. She said,
Yeah,
oh, you're a
yeah,
junk dealer, huh?
exactly, exactly. They go because half of these dudes they wear that being an inmate like a badge of honor and stuff. I'll never forget. Roland was telling me one time he was playing golf with this dude, and they were, I guess, exchanging stories about stuff growing up. And somehow, I guess, he asked Roland, had he ever been in jail? And he's like, no, I've never been in jail. He's like, are you serious? It's like, that's a rite of passage. Like, you're supposed to be put in jail. He said, no, man, my folks would have killed me. But it's almost like you're expected to have been justice involved, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I ain't been in no jail, man. Man, it didn't take me long. I went to that scared straight thing one time. I think I was in elementary school. I can't remember what grade I was in. I was like, I do not want to be in here. I heard that cell went clang. I was like, oh no, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, my dad was an auxiliary policeman growing up, so we always had a good respect for the law. I mean, that was just the way we were brought up. Because there
Brought
was
up, yeah,
kids my
yeah.
old age getting in trouble and getting sent to what they called back then was reform school. And
Reform school,
yeah,
yep,
they sent
yep.
someone to reform school. He broke into that store the other night and they sent him off to reform school. And
Hmm.
I'm like, because there was one place up in this town called Pikeville. I mean, they had a football team and everything. I mean, one of my brother's friend got sent up there because he got in trouble. He would write him letters. Yeah, man, the football team went 2-0 and we're playing. And I'm
Man,
thinking, well, damn, it's almost like he went up to another school.
school, yeah. I was
But
getting
I
ready to say,
guess he was in school. He was in reform school, but
yeah,
yeah, they had a
Pikesville U,
football team and everything.
yeah, Pikesville U.
Hmm.
The way they do it, they glorify it. Because they were definitely had a incentive and program to send young black youths to those places. We had the same thing. I'm trying to remember the name. It was Gainesville or Gatesville or something down there, and that's all you had to say. Oh, he went to Gatesville. You already know.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
already know what that was. And uh, it was just, but back during the times when we grew up, there was more community involvement. You had your bad apples, but they definitely by no means were the majority of people because some people kept you in check. I mean, you can even go down. I remember my grandmother, somebody called her and said I was doing something. I got back home. So I hear you were down da 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 doing such and such. Oh, no, not me. She said, well, Miss such and such said that you were doing this down there. So I guess you calling Miss such and such a lie. Well, I mean, that was a loaded question. Yeah. I couldn't say, well, yeah, she
yeah,
lied.
right.
Boy, and it wasn't beyond somebody that didn't know your family put that little switch on your behind too, and get back home and get another one. So it was a different time. You even talk to a kid today and they're coming to shoot you.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta be careful because you just never know. You just
Right?
never know. That's for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Uh, so, brother, what do you think about our twerking state senator from Rhode Island.
Man, that's so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. And it really, especially with grown people, uh, well, I'm just being me. Well, be your ass in your backyard doing some stuff like that. That's ridiculous. You up here carrying yourself as a elected representative, and you got your ass all up in the air, shaking, and think that that's all right. That is not. I mean, everything has a little decorum. And
Yeah,
I just don't. How can you be taken seriously on anything?
yeah.
With
And
that kind of
that was my
behavior.
thing too. How are you going to go out there and talk about? Well, all they want to talk about is that they don't talk about all the good work I've done in the Senate and the bills that I've had
Yeah.
helped get passed, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, come on now.
Right.
You got to realize you ain't talking to a bunch of illiterate people here. Yeah, they're going to talk about that kind of stuff when you out
That's right.
there, and even though I must admit that was a lot of booty meat shaking when she was
Oh, you
doing it.
better know it.
I said, no,
She
no,
was
how
she
you?
was she was pretty limber.
Yeah. I'm like, and doing it upside down and all that. I'm like, yeah, she
Yeah.
got it going on, but
So-
no. And I think from what I read, she's like a Harvard educated lady. I don't know if she's got a law degree or not, but I know they said she was Harvard educated. I can't remember if
Mhm.
she had a law
Mhm.
degree or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it's hard enough for, blacks. It's hard enough for ladies in general to
Mhm.
make it to those kind of positions and things. And you're gonna go out there. If you do go, she does go up for reelection again, and all people gonna remember is that.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to go
Exactly.
back and now and try to reclaim your constituency that you're a serious, representative, because all they
Mhm.
gonna know about is that.
That's right. If you want to be a big freak, be at home where ain't no cameras and stuff, and you can do all of that you want to do.
Yeah.
And but when you're out there, in the public eye, there's just a certain amount of, and I get so sick of it. Now, I don't mean to be just picking on the ladies, but I don't see too many dudes out there doing that. But it's just like I was sitting up here one night, and I just one day I just had to call Ron. Ron, come here. This is ridiculous. I saw, and she's one of my favorite news people, and that's Joy Reid.
Hmm.
O- Okay, there has to be a. I ain't gonna say there has to be, but you would expect a little consistency. Every day she comes on there, you don't ever know what she's gonna look like, And then she's put on this blonde crap.
Oh, really?
Oh man, it's ridiculous,
I
man.
ain't seen that.
I don't, and her complexion too. But black women just don't need to have blonde on. They're always talking about white girls trying to misappropriate culture and all that if they wear a braid. You've been trying to look like the white girls for the longest time. And but she had blonde hair and she had in several different styles, and none of them fit as far as I'm concerned. And then she had her sister on there. I forget what her name is. Then she was blonde, and I'm like, come on, man. I said, look at this, Rosin. Look at this. We got two respectable black women on here acting like they down the block.
Hmm.
It don't to me it's paramount to the young players getting drafted in the first round. You in a whole nother economic category, but you still want to hang out in the hole in the wall. I ain't saying you gotta act like you better than that, but there's certain things you can't do once you get to it. There's certain elements you can't be around. You have to kind of change your tone if you want to be taken seriously for what you're representing here now. I
Right.
know if I was a basketball team owner or a football team owner and you hanging out like that, we're gonna have to call you in the office and talk a little bit, because you represent me, my organization, and everything else. So just like we used to have pride in that when our families told us that you better not go out there and get in no trouble. You represent our whole family. That's just the way it is. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed in Joy because she's such an excellent news person and she's a smart woman.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I'm like, man, come on now, this blonde crap on your head, wig. One day it's slicked down, the next day it's boofed up, and I'm like, oh Lord.
And the thing about it is, and I'm mostly watch her during the election coverages and things of that
Hmm.
nature. So I mean, it's not like I watch her every day. But the thing that I noticed when I would watch her, I almost got the impression that she was very comfortable being, as I say, natural with her natural look.
Yes,
I
yes.
just sort of said, I said, sometimes you get those ladies that get to that point, and some guys too, you get to that point in their career, and it's like, well, we got to, make them up, and they got all these,
Hmm.
falsies on and all this kind of stuff. And I said, well, she's like somebody that seemed like they're very comfortable in her natural look.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't know she had gone blonde and all that kind of stuff. No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, man. For a while there, it was every day. It was a different dude. It was like, okay, who the hell is that? And Rosin even noticed damn, is she trying to bleach her skin or whatnot? Because she's getting lighter,
Yeah,
you know. You know, she's from the island. You know, she had a
right,
little,
right.
you know, she had her natural chocolate hue on her, and shit, she getting lighter and lighter. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I just don't get it. Even when you go out and you look at, you know, not only her, but I mean, she's in. I would have thought better of her in that stuff. But where were we at? We were somewhere. And I'm like, everybody came in there, had the long flowing hair with the damn eyelashes that stick out to touch the next person's face. I'm like, you can't even see your eyes. You know, it's just like one does it, then everybody got to do it. You know, I just don't get it. I don't have no problem with a woman enhancing herself, you know, meaning, you know, using her natural self more so. It's all right to enhance yourself,
Right,
you
right.
know, but when you just go out and become a whole doggone cartoon character and you take that mess off, we wouldn't even recognize who you are. You know, I got, even though she does it to a certain point, but I'm glad she ain't. You saw those pictures of Reverend Ron's daughter?
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
Yeah, she took some pictures out there, and she's now they're giving her a bunch of credit for being her authentic self because she's a thickums.
Oh, really?
Oh Lord, young lady, well put together. And but they were just talking about how it's nice to see somebody not going out there and getting all enhanced. You know, she didn't have a baby. She got the thighs, she got the butt and the hips, and she had on this little bikini little deal there, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. But of course she had eyelashes and all that stuff done. But it was mainly natural, man, and she looked nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think a lot of these women don't understand. You know, a man would probably like you better showing more of your natural assets. You know, rather than, you know, everybody's got the nose job, everybody's got the boob job, and all these fake butts and all of that. I'm like, good Lord of mercy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like you said, there's probably ways of enhancing. I mean, like I said, guys does that too.
Mm-hmm.
Hairstyle, the haircuts they might get, and whether they got a beard or don't have a beard and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we all do those kind of things, but I think sometimes they tend to go sort of overboard. I know there was a lady that came to the
Yep.
house to care for my aunt. She hadn't been there before, but she came in and she had the braids, and they were a bright red,
Oh, yeah.
and they were down past her butt.
Mm.
And one of the things that my aunt hates more than anything else is these girls coming in with these braids, and then they come in there to try to help her and change her and things. And as soon as they bend over, all this hair falls
Hair.
down in her
Mm.
face or on her chest and stuff. She hates that, and so
I don't blame her.
she told the lady that you need to put your hair up. Well, she had so much of it. I mean, she couldn't really. She tried to twist it around and stuff like that, but it still really wasn't going up very well. She finally twisted it and pinned it a little bit, and so wouldn't fall down. And I'm just like, nothing wrong. I have no problem with braids and things of that nature. I think ladies do it really well. And of course, another one of my complaints that my aunt had is the fact she said I don't know how they keep all that clean, and I know
Mm-hmm.
that's always been an issue with various braids, especially the natural braids and the thick ones. But I
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah. She said, but I don't like that. I said, yeah, I know. I said, I'm going to call the company and tell them if they have braids, they need to be able to put the braids up somehow. They can't be flopping over and falling
Mm-hmm.
into your face and stuff of that nature. So, that's the kind. Sometimes when I say there's nothing wrong with trying to look your best, and I mean, there's been people that you've seen and said, oh man, when she put some makeup on and things like that, she look like a whole different person because maybe they look sort of
Mm-hmm.
plainish. But then it seemed like there's others that just go overboard.
Yeah.
Just and that's when I'm like, come on now, you're trying to are you trying to be seen and things of that nature?
Yep.
Maybe you're trying to be seen for the wrong reasons. You ain't got to go
Mm-hmm.
out there and look like some boo boo the clown kind of thing to get recognized. If you're doing your job, whatever it may be, and you're doing well and you're well spoken, you present yourself well, you'll get noticed.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
ain't got to
sir.
do that, but being outlandish and things, and I know a lot of entertainers and people. I look at Lizzo, and I mean, look at how you sort of started and how you got your groupies and things when you got started, and then you try to want to flip the switch later on and say, well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
an artist and you shouldn't be. Well, you can't be coming out there, and especially with your size, that's going to get you noticed to start with.
Yep.
Just to be honest, your size, you're gonna get noticed anyway, and come out there and basically G strings and thongs and things of that nature. And now all of a sudden you say, "Oh no, don't remember that kind of stuff. I want to be taken seriously as an
Hmm.
artist and things of that nature." And I said,
Hmm.
"Well, it's hard to go back and delete all that.
That's for sure.
That's what got you started. And then when people say negative things about you, you got to realize you're in the public spotlight now.
Hmm.
You made yourself visible to the public because of how you chose to present yourself. And when you get a lot of negative backlash and stuff, I understand, you may have some mental issues dealing with that kind of thing. That's part of it.
Hmm.
That's just that comes with the territory.
Yes, sir. And you had some mental issues to bring your big ass out there like that in the first place. There ain't no, if that's the way you're gonna get attention, then you got to deal with it. Because
And you
whether
got to deal with it for whatever it brings.
that's right. When you even if you came out there as the most conservative artist and did your thing, you're gonna have people complaining about you.
Hmm.
So they're gonna complain about that. And you came out there with that devil may care attitude, and now you want to play sensitive, and then now you got a boyfriend, so now you want to be legitimate, kinda, after you done put all of that out there. Well, it's too late now.
Hey y'all, this is Mickey G.
And I'm Rodney T.
Thanks for joining us for this session of Old Fools Talking Old School. We'll see y'all next time.